creator, baby, you can get a line. What's up, millennials? I'm back. Today we are talking about my anniversary. No, I don't have a band. We are still very much single, but I am celebrating my anniversary, my 1-year anniversary of losing weight. And why that's symbolic and why I can pinpoint the date is because I actually had what's it called? I actually had I want to restart this. Hold on. We are gathered here today to talk about my loss. I can't even take myself seriously. So I've lost, I want to say 100 pounds. Oh, let me fix this camera. Okay. Oh, there we are. We're centered. So I've lost 100 pounds, and how did I do that? VSG. So if you don't know what VSG is, it's called vertical sleeve gastrectomy. All right. I'm trying to settle myself, get myself settled down. I don't know what to do. I want to sit up? Do I want to sit back? I don't know. Do I want to? So I've lost 100 pounds, and the way I did that was through a process surgery. I don't know what anybody would like to call it. It's a surgery. It's called vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and it is 1 out of 3 of those types of surgeries. So they're called weight loss surgeries. Bariatric surgeries. They cut 3/4 of my stomach. It was the size of a banana by the time surgery was over. I was eating okay, so after surgery I was on clear liquids for like 5 days. Then I was supposed to take 2 weeks, pure food, soft food, cottage cheese, oil bags. I think that's soft food, pure sauce, cottage cheese. And then after those weeks, I was eating because I was extreme hunger. I was like, the best part of my day was just like eating was a fun thing with my friends and my family. So I was like, I'm enjoying this. Like I just I'm like, it takes forever to eat something. So I was eating like soft food for nutrition stuff. Long story short, VSG, that's what I got done. So I'm not making this video a VSG like how to, how not to. That's not my jam. It's not my bop. For a few reasons. So the first thing is fitness is not my passion. Fitness is something very personal, so I keep my own fitness under wraps. Not intentionally, it just works out that way. And then the bariatric community is not the kindest. People are mean in general, but pair that with something that is such a huge vulnerability for most people who get this done. They're not kind. So I'm not going to talk about like the physiological, you know, like that whole aspect of it, like the surgery itself. I'm going to talk about how it has affected me, and not so much like, you know, physically, but more like not physiologically, psychologically. There you go. Those 2 words are difficult. But how it affected me psychologically, socially, that kind of stuff, because that for me is far more interesting, and had much more of an impact with the way that I you know, live my life, carry myself, or, you know, shift in perspective, all of that good stuff. That's more interesting to me. I'm not gonna tell y'all what to eat on week 2, day 3. I'm not interested in that. If I'm being honest, I didn't follow the diet completely. Sue me. Like yeah. So I'm not the best person to ask about that. So yeah. Oh, should we get into it? Okay. So what I've learned. So I wrote down prompts. So if you see me looking down, it's just because I need, you know, little refreshers. So the first thing I've learned is true colors. True colors. And so it's not that I learned it. It's something that I've always known, but people have shown their true colors. And it's something that I've always known, but I think it really took this, you know, to be on the other side of things, to really be like, oh, so like what you were thinking before, like you weren't bugging. Like, yeah, that was that. And so why that's important was because before I lost the weight that I did, I wasn't able to, like, I doubted myself a lot. And I didn't even know that in the moment. I was like, because for me, I was I was very confident, but the confidence that I have now, unmatched. And in comparison, I'm definitely more confident now. A lot of people, they're like, oh, like Katie's so confident, you know, things of the sort. And while yes, that is true, I think it was one of those fake it till you make it kind of things, which I did. But right now, I'm in it, you know. So like, I ain't faking it. Like, I'm in it, you know. So yeah. So back to my point. I digress. So back to my point. The reason why I bring that up is because I now have the confidence and the conviction to be like, yeah, like, you're showing your true colors. Bounce, you know what I'm saying? Like, peace, like, it's not for me, it's not my thing. So I'll give you a few examples. So in my personal life, I had a friend. I told her, I didn't want to tell her, and I was right in not wanting to tell her, because when I did tell her, you know, it just came up. She's one of those friends that, you know those friends that you're always kind of like subconsciously seeking validation from, and you don't really know why. She was one of those friends, and to be honest, I mean, I can kind of understand why now, but in the moment I was like, why is that? Like, always by default, like, I'm not gonna tell her. Then I end up telling her, because it was like I was always seeking validation. So her response to me telling her was, that's good, sis, like, I know, like, that's the new trend, everyone's getting that done, like, it's good, like, you know, cool, like, it was just a very condescending, like, yeah, like, that's the norm, like, I'm glad you're good, like, good for you. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen that TikToker, the Canadian one, where he's like, oh, you got a new car? Well, good for you. Like, it was that kind of thing. So, you know, that's something that I knew about her, but it really took being on the other side where I'm like, yeah, like, I'm gonna put myself first. Gotta put me first, Lucius, to really be like, it's not serving me. Another thing is, other bariatric patients, like, they're mean. They're so mean. Like, they're not, like, you would think a community such as this one, where you, first of all, being fat, for me, being fat my entire life, like, I've always been on the thicker side, and, you know, on the chubbier side. And then I got to a point where I was just, like, you know, medically obese, just, you know, like, that. So being from that walk of life for my entire life, I would think that someone in that position would have more compassion for people going through it, because you would know firsthand. They're mean, very mean. The things that they say in Facebook groups, like, I remember one lady was like, okay, there were 2 white dresses she was, you know, asking people for opinions on. She was like, I have this dress, I'm going to Puerto Rico, what do you guys think, you know, that kind of thing. And people were like, oh, get a new dress, that dress is like, you're still too fat for that dress. I was like, you need to leave. Yeah, they're mean. People are mean. Another thing is, I've always known this, but the medical professionals are so biased. I always knew this, but again, it's one of those things where, like, you need evidence to really be like, yeah, this is the way it is. Like, this is the way it is. So for me, that looks like, I would, you know, if I would tell them this is going on, it was always, yeah, you need to lose weight, I have back pain that I've had since before I started losing weight, and I was like, okay, maybe the back pain's gonna go away with the weight loss. Till this day, I still have that back pain, and if I'm being honest, it's gotten a lot worse post surgery, post weight loss, which I'm not taking away that, you know, weight does help with a lot of things, but it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, it doesn't have to be do this, it could be and, you know, or like, it doesn't have to be like just this and that's that. It's like lose weight and lose weight, or, you know. So it's just one of those things where, like, now when I go to the doctor's office, I'm taken a lot more seriously. Like, if I say something hurts or something, you know, like, I'm being given medication, I'm being sent to specialists, I'm not being told, oh yeah, try losing weight, it's just, it sucks, because it's kind of like, now that I have less of me, like, what am I trying to say? Now that my body takes up less space, my voice takes up more space. And that is a harsh reality to have to face. And now I benefit from it because I'm on the other side, right? I'm on the other side, so to speak. But it sucks because I know what it's like to be on the opposite side. And it's just, I don't know, it's just that lack of compassion. It's frustrating. So the next thing, boundaries. So I've learned to set lots of boundaries. That people-pleasing mentality, it's still very innate in me, because it's something that, you know, you can't undo 24 years of something that you're so used to doing. You can't undo that in 24 seconds, you know what I'm saying? But it's something that I'm more hyper aware of, and I've always been hyper aware of, but I'm more hyper aware of ending it, of, like, you know, putting a stop to it. And that in all of my relationships, I'm just a lot better at saying this isn't working for me, peace. And the real reason why that is because when I was much bigger, as much as I would fake that confidence, there was always a part of me that's like no, like I'm not worthy of that. Like I'm not, like, no, I'm not allowed to have that. Like I'm not, you know, like I'm not, yeah, like I'm not desirable. Like that's not, it was like a lot of imposter syndrome. So I would settle and I would take, you know, and I was still, if I'm being honest, I was settling for better, because there were people, you know, there were people in my position, not so much in my position, but like, you know, people, my peers, that would be settling for less. But again, I'm of the school of thought that I'm not gonna sit here and compare myself to other people. I can only compare me to me. And so me at that point in my life and me at this point in my life, like I was settling because to me that was not the standard that I knew that I needed to be at, that I knew that I deserved, that I knew that I'm capable of, that I just, all of those things. So I was settling by my standards. And now that don't fly, baby. We don't do that. We don't do that. The next thing is unmatched. People are calling me. Anyway, it was mi madre. She called and she can interrupt anything she wants. But we back. What was I saying? Unmatched confidence. I don't remember. I don't remember what I was saying, and I'm not gonna watch the video back just because I want it to be very, you know, raw and like, como se dice, authentic, right? So we're not gonna watch back. I'm just gonna go from muscle memory. And I remember I said something about unmatched confidence, right? So unmatched, the girl that I was last year, the girl that I was a month ago was not the same girl that I am today.
That's on what? That's on period.
That's it. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Wanting to be seen. That was my next point. So wanting to be seen. Ironically enough, so I'm an actress, right? Right? We all know I'm an actress, and if you don't, now you know. You know, if you're a casting director or something, hook your girl up with something. But I always had this thing where I'm like I don't like attention. I don't like attention. Like, I was like, I hate attention. Tomatoes, throwing tomatoes. Not true. I don't like the wrong attention. That is still true. I don't like unnecessary attention. Like, but in terms of like attention in general, where before like people would, you know, like, oh, you're so funny, oh my gosh, like look at Kate, like, you know, things like that, like you're so pretty, and I would take it. Like, I've always been good at taking a compliment, even if that looks like, stop, no, like don't gas me, like, you know, like that humility, which was very real. It was like because I was saying like don't gas me, but and what really, those were the words that I was saying, but if you unpack it, it was I don't want to be seen, like I don't look good, like that's not true, like you're just saying that, like, or you say that because you love me, like you have to say that. That's what it was like it, and or not even that. If I'm being honest, 90% of the time it wasn't even about the other person. It was projection, and the way you view yourself will almost always go hand in hand with the way you view the world. And so that energy, it will just come, whether you want it to or not, it'll always come out. It's always going to come out. So projection. And back to my point, when people would tell me like, oh, like you know, compliments, just like being seen, like in a moment where the attention was all on me and it wasn't being shared with, you know, other people, and it wasn't even something like not being genuine. It was literally me just like, I don't deserve all this attention. Like, me, I don't need all this attention. Like, hey, like my friends are here too, like let's share the spotlight. Sometimes you can take the spotlight. You can take the spotlight for yourself. You can take it. That doesn't mean you're taking it away from other people. That just means that in this moment, this is your solo, and you can take it. You can take full control of it. You can take, it's yours. You snatch it up. Don't let it go until it's time for someone else's solo. That's it. You are the Beyonce in that moment. That's just what it is. But I just had a hard time accepting that. And back to the point that I'm trying to make, because you see, digression. I just go off on a tangent. Just you're gonna get used to it. But projection. So it was me saying I don't deserve this. So that when people would give me a compliment, it's not like, oh, you're lying. It's like, I can't believe that you think this about me, because I don't really think this about myself. Like, I know you see me faking the confidence, which like fake it till you make it worse to a certain extent. And like even though on the outside, like you could not tear my like yo, baby, you couldn't tell me I wasn't the hottest thing since sliced bread. You could not tell me that. But when I would go home at night, I was telling myself that, and that's the most important person to me. So if it doesn't matter what you're saying, because if I don't believe in myself, then it literally goes right over your head. Like it's never gonna, you know. And as an actress, that's something important. Like I'm not saying that you want to be all up in everyone's face, but you have to be comfortable with being seen. You have to be comfortable with being in front of the camera. When I first started YouTube, I was not this comfortable in front of the camera. Like I remember I had a friend tell me, I can't, like, I love your channel, I can't wait till your personality comes out the way that I know it is. And that was something I was like, what does she mean by that? Like I knew what she meant by that, and I knew that I was holding back from the camera. But again, it was that like, you know, yes, I want to be seen in here, but I don't want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Like it was that mental blockage. Now you're gonna see all of this. You're gonna see all of this. Like you know, you're just not. You're gonna get tired of me. I'm not. There's no humble. Yo, I'm choking. Hold on. Jeez, why am I out of breath? I'm sitting down. Why am I out of breath? It's not. There's no like fake modesty. And not to say that it was before, but there's no like that. Cause there are moments where you're like yeah, I am all that in a bag of chips and a bev too, you know. But you're like, no, like I can't say that. Like you have to be humble. You have to like. Then you're like, no. Why would I do that? Who is that benefiting? You know my light is shining bright. You know my light is shining. You know my light is shining bright. So I'm gonna make sure that when the opportunity is there to make sure that it's known, to make sure, you know, when it's a topic of conversation, I'm gonna make sure that I put my 2 cents in. And so that's just what it is. So I've learned by taking up less physical space, I've learned to take up more space figuratively, and I'm gonna let my presence be known. There's still things that are very natural for me. Like I'm not gonna be the loudest in the room, but my presence is gonna be known, and that's just the way. I'm the loudest with my energy. I'm the loudest with my smile. I'm the like. Those were things that before I'm like, no, like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell people like the great things about me. There are great things about me that people tell me all the time, and that's just what it is. And like I have to. I'd be a liar if I sat here and I was like, yeah, like I don't notice that I have, you know, like a good smile. And if I'm being honest, it's not something that I would have, like, you know, woken up one morning and I'm like, oh, like I have a great smile. It's something that like you know, yeah, I like my smile. But when I hear other, like, that's the first thing without a doubt that everyone's like, you have a great smile, you have a great smile, you have. And that was something I was low-key insecure about for a little bit, because I had braces when I was younger and I didn't wear my retainer. And I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I'm doing this. But I might just end up zooming in. This is something like I want to get it corrected eventually, but I didn't wear my braces, and it's something that I have shame about, not so much because of the cosmetics of it, but just like, it's like, bro, like you had this privilege, you had you know, this opportunity, and you were worried about what other people thought, and you didn't wear your retainers. You were worried about having a list, and you didn't wear your retainer. It's more so that it's more of a mental shame. So when people tell me that I have a nice smile, at first I was like, me? Like what? Like, do you see these? Yeah, I have a nice smile. Yeah, are the bottom teeth throwing up gang signs? Of course they are. But I have a nice smile, and that's just what it is. Like, two things can be true at the same time. And so that I'm gonna wrap up the point again. Wanting to be seen. I want to be seen. I'm going like. When it's warranted, when it's, you know, appropriate. Like, I'm not walking around like, oh, like look at me, look, like, you know. But when it's appropriate, I'm gonna make sure that my presence is known, because it's warranted in that moment. It's being asked of me in that moment, and I'll show up when I need to show up. So yeah, the last one. Let me see. Oh, we're almost towards the end. So the last one, y'all, is that I can't even get the words out. So I've learned that my booty is genetics. The booty is, did you hear me?
The booty is genetics.
Meaning, one of my fears when I was losing weight was, and I'm embarrassed to say this, but I didn't go to the gym. I went to the gym once. I almost died because the stamina that I had prior to surgery and the stamina that I was trying to have a month after surgery. I'm a delusional person. I'm not gonna lie. I'm delusional. You know that girl on TikTok that's like, be delusional. I'm delusional. But that was even for me, that was a bit too much delusion, because I was in the gym like, trying to go hard, trying to do everything I was doing, and my body was like, oh, baby, what are you doing? Like, we don't roll like that anymore. I was just like, I gave my body time to heal. But for me, it's always been a mental battle. So like, I didn't give my body time to heal. I was late, you know, like I was sleeping. I was taking it easy. I was taking it very easy. I was allowing myself that space to be lazy, so to speak. But mentally, I was like, I'm ready. And she wasn't ready. So all that to say that I did not go back to the gym. I went to the gym for like, what, 3 days? And I was just so frustrated. Same thing as like when I'm eating, and well, not so much now, but when I was eating at first, where it was taking me forever in a day. I was like, oh, take the plate. I don't want it. Like, I don't keep it. Like, you know, it was that same thing where I'm like, why am I going to the gym winded after turning on the machine? Like, what's going on? So I stopped going to the gym. I didn't go to the gym. And then it was fear, where I was like, I'm gonna lose my booty. Like, I should have been doing the gluteus maximus exercises, and I didn't do them. And I was like, I'm gonna lose my booty. I'm gonna lose my booty. The booty is genetics. It's not genetically modified. It's genetics. And I would stand up and show you, but you can go to my Instagram page at Katie Millenia, and you can see for yourself. There's many juicy booty pics in there, and you will see them. I'm not giving you all the goods. I'm gonna need y'all to work for it. And then while you're there, follow me. You know what I'm saying? Follow me. And then while you're doing that, you might as well head on over to my TikTok. Follow me there, because I post some nice content. I don't be posting the juicy booty on there, but if that's an incentive for y'all to follow me, I'll post it everywhere. I'll give you a little, you know, thirst trap. And then while you're here, before you go over there, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, like, and push the bell notification button, because the word on the street is that you get notified when I post a video, and like, why wouldn't you want to have first dibs? Like, better late than never, of course, but if you could be here before the rest of the bunch, why not? Get your first like in. It's a little competition. If you're competitive, then you should be here. Like, you know, as soon as I post that video, you know, first comment. First. And then we can have like a stream of like 10 people saying that they're first. And I won't correct any of y'all. I'll just like them be like, yes, baby, you are. That's it. So, in conclusion, to wrap up this video, I know I wrap things up and then I keep talking. It's like, in conclusion, I've learned a lot after my bariatric surgery. Apart from, you know, of course, the physical changes, the great things that happened to me physically, like, you know, my clothes fit. I have clothes that I've had in the closet for 5+ years, no joke. And I was like, I'm gonna fit into this one. It's that optimist mindset. Delusion mixed with optimism, lethal match. Like, that's me. So yeah, I've had those clothes and now they fit, and some of them are even too big. They're huge on me. And I had pictures of some of these clothes that they didn't even go up, and I don't know what happened to the pictures, but now they go up, and they even, you know, they do a little hula dance on me because they're that loose. So life is good on this end. I fit into my mom's clothes. I haven't fit into my mom's clothes since like early middle school, like 7th grade, you know, like like at that point I was like squeezing into them. But I fit into her clothes, and Miss Girl can dress. Miss Girl's a little fashionista, whatever, so that's nice. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope it's not long. Let's see when I edit it. And I hope you have a great day, weekend, evening, midday. Enjoy your lunch, your dinner, whatever it is that you are doing in this moment. Enjoy it, and I will see you back on the next video. Deuces.